Greetings, dear Gemini. Greetings. This is your little mini general kind of spiritual broad spectrum heart-based reading for October 2018. That's you, Gemini. This is Tarot Lumination, and this is your report. Okay, so cards are well shuffled in advance, but I'd like to go to the last second so that you're a witness. And no jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, none of those things. Sorry, no reversals. Sorry about all that. And I invite you to watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Okay, and you can even cross-watch for the significant others in your life. There's a whole other playlist for love and relationship. This is broad spectrum, going very wide and then very deep to the core of your heart. Before we get into it, I want to share with you the stuff that I'm sharing with everybody. Tarot Lumination, Astro Doodle. Okay. This is very, very generic. It's stripped down. There's hardly anything here except for the things that really struck Tarot Lumination that were important to share. The key thing that I'm noticing here for the October season is a huge stellium of Scorpio energy up here, okay? Including Venus going retrograde. So for you, Gemini, let's put you on the horizon here. That's going to be over here in your 6th house. Health, healing, healthy habits. And with the Venus retrograde in Scorpio, plus all the other amplifications of Scorpio energy through the middle and later part of the month especially, you could be under a lot of pressure to like reevaluate. What am I doing? What are my habits? What are my healthy habits? What are my unhealthy habits? And how are these happening in the context of very significant others? Are you maintaining healthy relationships with others? Are others maintaining healthy relationship dynamics with you? Okay. Also, another thing for you, Gemini, is that you've got the Libra new moon here over here in your 5th house of true love and romance. But above and beyond that, it's like creativity, self-expression, that 5th house energy of joy, happiness. Pretend you're like a pop star, rock star, an actor or something, a performer. And it's all about the creative self-expression. New starts and new beginnings over here. Other dates. Let's have a look. The Libra new moon, okay, October 8th. And the big full moon, Taurus moon, Scorpio sun, October 24th. It looks sort of like this. Here are the dates for the month. I'm just going to share these quickly with you. This is for everybody. It's part of the Astro Doodle here at Tarot Lumination. October the very 1st, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. Let's just move on. October 6th, Venus goes direct in Scorpio. We were talking about that in your health sector. Healthy habits, refining, clarifying, purifying. October the 8th, new moon Libra. That could be exciting, fun, harmonious energy for you. New starts, new beginnings when it comes to that part of your life. We said, true love, romance, creative expression, and risk-taking, business, excitement, fun. Over here, the Scorpio stellium. This is where it starts to pick up around the 10th and the 12th. October 24th, the full moon, Scorpio sun, Taurus moon, okay? October 26th, the Scorpio stellium again, but this is more amplified now. And lastly, while I have your attention, please, the best way to show the love is become a member. Tarot Lumination Love Tribe membership, okay? There's a button up here and there's links below. Personal readings, links below. First Friday healing events, Tarot Lumination Live, links below. Shop, have a look at the TL goodies, link below. Books, link below. Saturn silk scarf, ha ha ha. Links below. All right, there you go. So let's keep moving. Thank you for your indulgence. I'm going to make the most of our time here on the channel, and with your time, I'm trying to get through these as quick as I can for you so that you can get on with your day. All right, cards are well shuffled in advance. We're going to go to the last second. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. All right, so you know the drill. Invite your invisible friends to join you. Make this a team effort. Watch your sun, moon, and rising. Cross watch to your significant others. Okay, it all adds up. All right. and then, reinterpret to suit you. Cards are shuffled. Cards are shuffled. Okay, excuse the banging, but I like to bang the cards. Cutting, 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 cutting. Bless these cards. Bless this deck. Bless you, Gemini. Bless Terra Illumination. Bless the whole channel. Bless all the viewers. Bless all the electricity and the gadgets and the wires and the platform, as they call it. Over here, right at the very core, we're using this journey of the heart, this beating heart spread, okay? Because you can have everything else organized, great, fine. But if you don't have this sorted out, nothing else matters, okay? So sorry to be so blunt. The heart needs what it needs, it wants what it wants, and it's hoping and praying that you, Gemini, are listening, okay? Legacy energy, what are you bringing in with you? Well, perhaps I should have mentioned this earlier with the Astro Doodle. Through the September, the Virgo season, there was a very strong emphasis on the Virgo-Pisces axis. You might have felt it as extreme stress, some way, somehow, because those are hard square angles to you and your Gemini energy over here, okay? Here to here. Basically, transiting T-squares is what it would be called. So you would have a right to feel completely wigged out and stressed out right now coming into the October season, but knowing that the Libra energy is harmonious and actually fun for you. Okay, so what about the ever-present now? This is where we own our power. So how present are you, Gemini? Are you dwelling in the past, projecting the future, constantly communicating, listening, speaking, or doing whatever you have to do to avoid this? Okay, because sometimes this energy of being completely, fully present requires tremendous courage because it means you have to accept everything exactly as it is. No blame, nothing. It's you and your life right now. All your pain and suffering, all your joys, all the mysteries, all the hopes and possibilities, all for the future, all the tragedies of your past, right now. It is in the now where you own your power and you express your power through the healing power of your decisions over here. So what does that look like? Over here, this would be the energy of like, well, okay, so thank you, Terra Illumination, but how exactly are we going to do that? The whole point here is to love thyself, to get you in tune with you, get yourself fully aligned at the heart center core of you. Some people talk about it in terms of chakras and things like that. You can do that if you want. So how do you do that effectively? And in so doing, create consequences. So you become a full participant in your own evolution, okay? As opposed to abdicating the self, giving away your power, allowing decisions to be made for you, living on autopilot, blaming everything on fate. Okay, so regardless, let's just say you're in your full courage. What does that look like for you when you're facing the risks of the unknown, beat by beat by beat? On the other hand, when you're in your power, making your decisions, what happens if you abdicate? You basically say, you know what, I'm just going to go back to autopilot because I know it works, I know, and all the other horrible stuff that's going to happen, it's going to happen anyway. Okay, that's kind of like spiritual laziness, all right? So what does that look like, okay? Over here, prospects and momentum for the next beat. We are creating energy here from the core between your conscious connection to the heart and your heart living and working for you so that you can be your most awesome you. So energy is created here, which turns into your auric energy here. See the heart shape here, which turns into the wider aura that other people sense outside of you, which is what permeates through the planet into your world. So it's all about love thyself here. Create the love, spread the love, be loving, be loved. Okay, circumstantial energy, let's have a look. Think of it as the weather. Okay, you've got the Knave of Cups. So my feeling here is to take advantage of this moment. It's like allow yourself to learn. Tap into that Gemini part of yourself where you love information. You love to absorb information and process information and then figure out what to do with it. And when it concerns the matters of the heart, admit your innocence. Admit that you don't know everything and that there is so much more to learn. I think this is very much to do with the after effects of the Pisces Virgo axis, putting a lot of pressure on you through the Virgo season. Okay, but we're coming out of that. We're into October now, the Libra season. So you can allow the love to flow. Okay, learn the messages, understand what love means in your life. What This is not a love and relationship reading, by the way. That's a whole other playlist later on. But for now, understand and be aware that this is a really good time for you to take advantage of the flow of these energies right now and learn what has to be learned regarding, like I would guess you could call it self-love, okay? In the purest, simplest sense. How are you treating yourself? What are your loving habits to you? How are you allowing other people to treat you? Are you being a doormat? Are you being obstructive? Are you closed off? What is your nature right now? Okay, and learn that, discover that. So let's have a look. What's the heart saying here at the core? Okay, the King of Coins. So it's like, to me, this feels like the heart is saying, listen, dear, dear Gemini, okay? Please listen to me. We need to seriously get our act together. And it's like, we can talk about this stuff. We can listen to it. We can banter here and there. We can exchange with our loved ones, and our loved ones can exchange with us. But we really, really need to get our act together in terms of mastery of what it means to be like substantial and rich at the heart core, evidence of love, evidence of the healing power of love in action. Not concepts, not stories, not going to classes, not writing reports, but actually living by example, representing what it means to be like an instrument of the healing power of love, where it becomes evident. It's physical evidence. This is the energy of mastery here on the physical plane here. The master of physicality, abundance, and resources, knowing how to maximize your resources and be the most wealthy version of yourself. So are you listening, Gemini? Because that's what your heart needs and wants right now. And that can't happen unless you are on board facilitating, okay? So what are you bringing in with you? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, Queen of Cups. So there's a lot of regality here, royalty here going on. If you're bringing in with you this energy of Queen of Cups, where this is very emblematic of, like, it's almost like you're Gemini saying, you know what, Tarot Illumination? If you don't mind, I'm actually doing the best I can, and I'm actually pretty awesome already. So, watch what you're saying to me, Gemini, okay, if you don't mind. Um, and so Tarot Illumination says, okay, I get it, I understand. This is not a personal reading. This is generic for a lot of people. I don't mean to hurt your feelings here, but it feels as though, to me, Tarot Illumination has hurt your feelings, and that you are coming in here making it very clear that you're already doing the best that you can, and actually you have a pretty high degree of mastery when it comes to the energy of your heart here. But the thing is that it also looks to me as almost like you kind of get a bit, you would get a bit, it's almost like, I'm not saying it's not pride. It's more to do with, like, with all this regal energy here, it's becoming enamored with the glamour. You know, like, when you go on those like yoga retreats and places and everything, and you feel like, oh, I'm ascending now. I'm ascending. I have reached the 5th level. I'm on the 7th level. I'm going to 8, 9, 10, and 11. And you start to think, wow, I am all of that. And you start to become, you fall in love with the glamour, and then you lose the point of everything. So it's like, it's one thing to be like a yoga star, a loving star, to be a witness to yourself how loving you are, what it's like to actually be loving and be loved. And then you think that's kind of heroic and cool, and then you start to then the ego energy kicks in, and then you realize, well, wait a minute, we're kind of losing the point here. So my feeling here is that, no offense, Gemini, my job is to tell the story as I see it and feel it here for you. And there's a lot of love energy involved here. So I think this is to do with the Libra part here, the Libra new moon. So my feeling here is to allow yourself to indulge yourself in your own awesomeness, which is what you're doing. And that's what the heart kind of wants for you. But it just needs, we need to take everything to the next level of refinement. It's just like you've done such an awesome job already. You lived through the Pisces Virgo stressors, and you've got this gorgeous Libra new moon happening for you over, sorry, oh, you've got this Libra new moon happening over here for you in the love and relationship sector. So check the other playlist for that. But for now, it's like, it's cool to be you. Okay, it's really, really cool to be you. And I'm sorry if I, caused offense there a little bit. I didn't mean to. It's just that there's a lot of sparkles and glitz and glamour here. That's what I'm feeling. And I think that's like the Pisces energy there with the Virgo. And there's a clash going on here. And the Virgo in his energy is saying, okay, that's wonderful. It's great to just be so regal and glorious and abundant. But, you don't want to fall in love with the fantasy. We need to reality check. What are you going to do with all this energy? What are you going to do with all this power, this new wisdom, this new knowledge? Okay? You just can't hoard it. You have to share it. So what about the now? Okay, 3 of coins. Okay, so my feeling here with the 3 of pentacles, this is like the reality check coming in here. This is like where it's just like a big thud, like, duh. Tarot Illumination, you just spoiled my party. And then Tarot Illumination says, I didn't spoil your party. I'm not trying to spoil your party. I'm trying to celebrate your awesomeness here. You've done all the work. You've done so much work. You lived through the huge stressors now. And right now, it's all about like belonging on the broader spectrum. Being with those people, okay? Going back over to here, these very significant relationships when it comes to your day-to-day habits. Do you have healthy relationships? Are you hanging out with people who truly appreciate you? Are you hanging out and with people who you truly appreciate, or is that all fake and phony? Okay? Like where the glamour becomes so intoxicating, you lose touch with reality. My feeling here with the 3 of Pentacles is that it's time to get the reality check. Grab hold of all this amazing power. Use your innocence. Use your thirst for knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Your abilities to communicate, to listen and to receive, to speak and to listen. And then bring that into a reality like, well, my gosh, I really need to recalibrate. Yes, there's a lot of re-evaluation that's going on here in the now about what are you doing with your loving relationships and your healthy habits, okay? Over here, the healing power of your decisions, knowing like, oh my gosh, well, what am I going to do now? How am I going to do what I have to do? I've got to like get down to earth, be practical here, take all my amazing, awesome gifts and resources and bring them into a place where it's useful, creating healthy habits, being like useful and of service to others, and allowing others to be useful and of service to you, Gemini. So that requires a conscious decision to do that. Okay, 4 of coins. And my feeling here is to, again, this is amplifying, seriously, let's get down to earth. Let's get a serious reality check. Find out and ask yourself, what exactly am I doing with all my amazing resources? Okay? You don't want to waste all that power. There's a lot of power in this card, a lot of strength, endurance, and stability here. And it needs to be like corralled, owned, and let's say managed properly so that it isn't just squandered here. This is like protecting yourself, protecting all of this instead of indulging this and protecting this and figuring out, wow, now I've got all these talents and gifts. What am I going to do with it? I've got to invest. I've got to create like a place of safekeeping. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do going forward with my health and my habits. Okay, over here. So how do you actually do that? Okay, with Four of Wands. I think you get back into the group situation. We could talk about Terra Illumination Love Tribe, for example. Hint, hint, plug, plug, where you realize, okay, it's great having all of this. Like if you've reached some kind of level of spiritual mastery and ascendance and you've got it locked down, you know what it means in terms of living by example, and you carry it in your heart and you're resonating, you're glowing, you're like a literally glowing orb of love here. What are you going to do? Just sit at home and hoard that? It looks to me here as your reader, it's like, no, you need to come out. It's like an almost like a coming out party. You need to be like, it's like literally like a coming out party where um, you get to like show your true colors, how you have advanced, how you have evolved, and almost like a fashion show. Like do this beautiful thing about like this is what it's like to be Gemini the way I am Gemini right now. Okay, so this is what we're doing. This is how we do it. And I'm going to celebrate that with you. I am willing to share my awesomeness and celebrate this with you, and I'm showing you my true colors, okay? And I want to turn it into a Gemini party. And then now everybody gets the hint, like now finally Gemini's getting it. It is a group thing. Gemini has invited us to their own fashion show about their own awesomeness about themselves. And that's great because it's an excuse for everybody to have a party. And I know, Gemini, you like to have fun. So I think this is really, really good. The way to do this is to celebrate your awesomeness in a group setting by essentially holding a Gemini party to celebrate you. And in so doing, you give everybody else permission to celebrate themselves. Get it? Anyway, we're generating consequences here, which is a form of healing. Okay, with the Temperance here, I'm actually kind of glad because this energy was feeling very, very strong for me and I wanted to tone it down a bit. What we're actually doing here, Gemini, is actually extremely hard to do. I don't want to like say that, oh, anybody could do this. It takes a tremendous amount of study and practice and spiritual commitment and dedication to love, to self-love, investing resources, building your power base to actually do this, where you can create harmony and balance inside of yourself here and live it by example, like manifesting by example, so you can prove to others how you heal yourself, how you overcame your issues, how you learned how to reinvest in yourself, how you learned how to create stability, put yourself in a place where you're very valuable to others and others are very valuable to you. That's something to celebrate. It creates beautiful harmony and balance. So over here with this card, this is about what do you do now? What happens if you're screwing up and you just squander all your awesome energy here? What happens if you do invest? Okay, let's have a look. With the Three of Cups, oh, this is very harmonious. It feels to me like when you actually see this as something that is worthy of you and it's worth basically like humbling the self, humbling the ego, to do what we were talking about here. Get in with the rest of us, okay, Gemini? Celebrate yourself with us. Do the full fashion show, and we will appreciate you. And then you can just hang out with the rest of us, okay? It's your party. You get to share yourself with others. We celebrate you. We love you, okay, Gemini? And this is a learning thing. It's okay to love and be loved. It's actually deliciously satisfying. Thank you very much. Of course, if you screw up and you hoard your energy and you think, I'm just going to live in my amazing castle and everyone else out there is just minions, they have no idea what it's like to be me. And then you lose the party. You lose the love. You lose the joy. It goes nowhere. What about prospects? Okay, Eight of Cups. So to me, it feels like learning how to love at a new level where you have to leave the old level behind and mature and grow into this new level of spiritual evolution and growth here, okay? So I'm really happy for you. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings, Gemini. I'm just trying to help, all right? Thank you so much. Thank you for choosing Terra Illumination. All the best. Have a super October. Bye-bye.